Here is like what worked for me, some insights, some lessons in the past. Like for instance, I just had some guests here on my backyard. We were watching the sunset today. It was so beautiful. I have a nice, I have a house here in Florida by the water, and we were just having time. And the conversation came. I live in Port Charlotte. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you some. Sometimes I prepare what I'm gonna say, but then something happens. I just pray to God. Just let me share, Lord, what you want me to share with the people. Well, what you want me to share instead of sometimes just like what I prepare. But anyway, we'll do it because I really believe that God guides me in a whole lot of things. I mean, every single day. And all of a sudden, I was looking at my notes and I learned. I remember what we talked about in the backyard just a few minutes ago, and I wanted to share with you. I live now here in Port Charlotte, Florida. We went to eat at this place called Fisherman's Village by the water. It's a restaurant. It's a tourist area. There's a marina that's 5 minutes away from my house. And across the restaurant, we ate by the water. We were looking at, it looks like an island, but it's not really an island. That's the Port Charlotte area, where I live. And I live on the other side of the water. And I have a house there by the water. And I told my friends today that were with me, I said, many years ago, I used to sell properties here, land here in Florida. When I was selling land in Florida, I bring my customers from New York to this restaurant, and I used to tell them, see how beautiful this place is, how beautiful the weather is. You got the marina and the ocean and all these palm trees, beautiful houses. I actually was selling them vacant land across the water. The restaurant is in a place called Punta Gorda, and I was selling them Port Charlotte, the other side. Now, at the time, this was many years ago, I never imagined I would live here in Port Charlotte, where I was selling land. If I make $1,000, $2,000 for the weekend, on a sale, if I make a sale, that's all the money I got then when I was younger. So I look at my customers are like this. My customers are rich. They got money to buy properties. Like I'm just a poor salesman. I got nothing. So I cannot even dream of buying the land that I was selling. And then these beautiful houses. And that was a year ago when I was younger. When I was younger, that was in the 80s. From selling those lands, I learned how to sell it good to the point where I look back. That was 1985, 86, 87, okay? And I was young. I became so good at sales already. I quit my job. I was 28 years old. At 29, I was a full-time salesman. So those 3 years, 1985, 1986, 1987, I'm early 30s. I remember, I filed my taxes. I made about $250,000 then, during those 3 years, I was selling these properties. And something happened where, because I was young, I was stupid, I lost what I earned on those 3 years. To the point I became homeless. My wife and I started fighting because I lost the money. And then my wife said at one point, divorced me. I mean, the same wife I have now. But at the time when I was younger, we messed up so bad that we had to separate, And I said to myself, what happened to everything that I have learned? I listened to Anthony Robbins and Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and Les Brown and you name it. All this sales technique and all this sales inspiration, how to be a leader, how to build a group, how to inspire your people that you recruit, how to train them, how to sell. I learned all those. And I made all the money, and then I lost at my early age. And I literally was homeless, okay, in my early 30s. I was on the street with no money. and I bounced back, okay? What happened was I went to a seminar, and I learned about Jesus Christ, and then I learned about being forgiven, and I learned about God's love, God's help, God's mercy. Not only I learned, I experienced being empowered by the Holy Spirit. I was prayed over and I saw visions. I heard God. I heard God told me inside, you belong to me. And I saw lights, I saw clouds. I never thought something like that happens. An experience like that. And then from then on, things started to change little by little. My wife and I got back together. I was able to lead her too, to the seminar I went to. From that time on, something became, I would say, more important to me than everything else that I have learned. Now, I am not saying we don't have to learn all those skill sets in building a business, sales strategies, like making sales, building a business. No, but I learned several things, and even now that I have grown older, it's becoming clearer and clear to me. Okay, so around 17 years ago, I ended up with this business that we are in, and it is built to the point where, like I said, like Michael said, I have over 1 million people, 1 million downlines all over the world. Like in my sales organization. I just came back from Australia. There was a big event in Australia. There were over 500 young people in my downline. Their age is between 25 to 35. Doing this business, I was like a grandfather in the middle of these young people building our business in Australia, and they're building it online. Not even the way we were doing it, like the old timers way,